What if I told you that your daily walk, the very habit you rely on to stay mobile, might be leaving your body wide open to a catastrophic fall? We have been told for decades that walking is the gold standard of senior fitness. And yes, it keeps the heart beating. But new data suggests that for people over 75, walking fails to address the single biggest threat to your independence: the silent atrophy of your fast-twitch muscle fibers. A 2025 analysis of geriatric mobility data uncovered a disturbing trend. Seniors who only walked had a fall risk nearly identical to those who were sedentary, specifically when faced with uneven terrain. Why? Because walking builds endurance, but it does not build structural power. You are standing at a crossroads. Down one path lies the slow decline, where you shuffle, you shrink, and you eventually need help just to get off the toilet. Down the other path lies functional freedom, where you can pick up your grandchildren, carry your own groceries, and move with the confidence of someone 20 years younger. The difference isn't genetics, it's physics. And today, we are going to fix your physics. Before we begin, I have a request. If you are ready to take control of your health and reject the narrative of decline, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments, do you currently rely solely on walking for your exercise, or do you mix it up? I read every single comment to understand where you are starting from. We start with the most controversial point, simply because it challenges everything you have been told: the 10,000 steps benchmark. It feels productive. You look at your pedometer, you see the number, and you feel safe. You think, I've done my duty for my body today. But biologically, you have only trained one energy system. Think of your muscles like a car engine. Walking is like idling in the driveway or driving slowly on a flat road. It keeps the engine running, but it never revs the RPMs high enough to clean out the carbon deposits or test the pistons. If you never rev the engine, when you suddenly need power to merge onto a highway, or, in your case, catch yourself from a trip, the engine stalls. Consider Margaret, a 4-year-old retired school librarian. She was the pride of her neighborhood walking club. She hit 12,000 steps, rain or shine. She thought she was bulletproof. But Margaret had zero load-bearing strength. One afternoon, she tried to lift a heavy box of books from her porch. Her legs, conditioned only for light, repetitive steps, buckled under the load. She suffered a compression fracture in her spine that took 6 months to stabilize. She had endurance, but she had no armor. Research from the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia and Muscle indicates that low-intensity steady-state cardio, like walking, does almost nothing to stimulate type 2 muscle fibers. These are the fibers responsible for explosive movement and catching your balance. Without load, these fibers turn into fat. We aren't telling you to stop walking, we are telling you to load it. You need to turn your walk into a ruck. The fix: buy a weighted vest or put 5 to 10 pounds of books in a sturdy backpack. The method: wear this for just 15 minutes of your walk. The benefit: the added weight forces your skeletal system to lay down new bone tissue, turning a leisure activity into a bone-building session. But even if you add weight, you are still moving in a straight line. The next habit on our list exposes a blind spot that is responsible for over 60% of hip fractures. Most seniors live their entire physical lives in what we call the sagittal plane, moving strictly forward and backward. You walk forward to the kitchen, forward to the car, forward to the mailbox. It feels natural because our eyes are in the front of our heads, but life often attacks from the side. A dog jumps at you from the left. A car backs out from the right. You slip on ice and slide sideways. Think of your hips like the foundation of a skyscraper. If you only have steel beams running up and down, the building stands fine on a calm day. But the moment a side wind hits, the structure twists and collapses. You need cross bracing. The muscles on the side of your hips, the gluteus medius, are your cross bracing. Your doctor checks your forward gait and says you are fine, but standard exams rarely test lateral stability. This is why you can walk a mile perfectly but break a hip stepping out of a bathtub. We need to wake up the side muscles. The fix: the kitchen counter, side step. The method: while waiting for your coffee or tea to brew, stand facing the counter, holding on lightly. Step your right foot out to the side, then bring it back. Do 10 repetitions. Switch legs. Why? This isolates the glute medius, instantly tightening the guy wires that hold your hips steady. Now that your hips are stable, we have to talk about the hands. Point number 5 involves a predictor of longevity that is more accurate than your blood pressure, yet almost no one trains it. You might think, my hands are fine, I can hold a pen. But grip strength isn't about writing. It's a direct biomarker for overall nervous system health. When you stop carrying heavy things relying on shopping carts or delivery services, your grip atrophies. This signals your brain that you are no longer engaging with the physical world, and your body downregulates its repair processes. Think of your hands as the external terminals of your central nervous system. A weak signal at the terminal suggests the battery is fading. A 2024 study, published in The Lancet Healthy Longevity, confirmed that low grip strength is consistently associated with higher all-cause mortality. It is the check engine light for your entire constitution. Stop treating your hands like delicate instruments. Treat them like clamps. The fix: the farmer's carry. The method: take 2 reusable grocery bags. Put a 2-liter bottle of water or a heavy book in each. Walk up and down your hallway for 30 seconds, holding them by your sides. Keep your shoulders back. The bonus: this doesn't just build grip, it stabilizes your rotator cuffs and forces your core to brace reflexively. We are building a strong body, piece by piece. But strength is useless if you don't know where your body is in space. The next point explains why you feel dizzy when you stand up too fast. We are halfway through the list. If you are learning something new, please like this video to help support the channel and share this with a friend or loved one who needs to hear this message. You have 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing. But you actually have a 6th sense called proprioception. It tells your brain where your limbs are without you looking at them. As we age, the sensors in our joints and feet, called mechanoreceptors, get foggy. You stop trusting your feet, so you look down at the ground when you walk. This ruins your posture and shifts your center of gravity forward, pulling you into a fall. Let's talk about Robert, a 72-year-old former carpenter. Robert spent his life walking on beams. He had incredible balance. But after retiring, he spent 5 years sitting in a recliner watching news. The mechanoreceptors in his ankles went dormant from disuse. One Tuesday, he stood up to answer the door, didn't sense that his left foot was slightly turned in, and tripped over his own toe. He broke his wrist trying to break the fall. He didn't trip because he was clumsy. He tripped because his GPS signal was lost. Think of proprioception like the GPS signal in your car. If the satellite connection is weak, the map lags. You might think you are on the road, but the GPS shows you in a field. Your brain thinks your foot is flat on the floor, but it's actually tilted. Crash. We need to recalibrate the sensors. The fix: the flamingo stand. The method: stand near a wall for safety. Lift one foot just an inch off the ground. Hold for 10 seconds. The upgrade: Once you master that, try closing your eyes for 3 seconds. Removing vision forces your joint sensors to wake up and work overtime. You have balance, grip, and lateral stability. Now we must address the silent killer of mobility, the chair itself. Point number 3 is something you are likely doing right now. Look at your posture right now. Are your shoulders rounded forward? Is your chin jutting out? We spend hours sitting. This locks our thoracic spine into a C shape. When your upper back freezes in this curve, you cannot fully extend your hips when you stand. You end up walking with bent knees and hips, which is the shuffle pattern of the very old. Think of your spine like a stack of dinner plates. If the plates are stacked perfectly straight, they are incredibly stable. If you tilt the stack forward, gravity wants to pull them down. Your back muscles have to work 24/7 just to keep you from face planting, creating chronic tension and fatigue. You need to reverse the curve daily. The fix, the wall angel. The method: stand with your back against a wall. Try to touch your heels, butt, shoulders, and the back of your head to the wall simultaneously. Now, raise your arms like you are making a snow angel, keeping your wrists touching the wall. The sensation: you will feel a deep, uncomfortable stretch in your chest. That is the feeling of years of slouching being undone. We are close to the number 1 spot. But first, point number 2 tackles the difference between looking fit and being functional. This is where most gym-goers get it wrong. There is a misconception that seniors should only move slowly and carefully. Don't exert yourself, they say. This advice is dangerous. Strength is the ability to lift a heavy object. Power is the ability to lift it quickly. You lose power twice as fast as you lose strength. Why does this matter? If you trip, you have about 300 milliseconds to shoot your leg out and catch yourself. That requires speed. Power. If you only train slow movements, you will be strong enough to hold the wall, but too slow to grab it in time. Susan, 68, a former ER nurse, was diligent. She did yoga and slow resistance bands. She was strong. But one day at the park, a cyclist swerved into her path. She needed to jump back instantly. Her brain sent the signal, jump, but her muscles, trained only for slow yoga flows, couldn't fire fast enough. She was struck and suffered a severe bruise and concussion. She realized that slowness was a vulnerability. Think of your muscles like a lighting system. Strength is a dimmer switch that slowly brightens the room. Power is a toggle switch that floods the room with light instantly. You need that toggle switch to work in an emergency. The fix, the chair pop. The method: sit in a sturdy chair. Instead of standing up slowly, I want you to stand up as fast as possible, almost like you are trying to jump, but don't leave the ground. Control yourself slowly on the way down. The dosage: 3 sets of 5 reps. Speed on the way up, control on the way down. This leads us to the single most important movement you can master. It combines power, balance, strength, and mobility into one. If you only do one thing besides walking, let it be this. Here it is, the movement better than walking, the squat. In the medical world, the ability to sit on the floor and stand back up without using your hands is the single greatest predictor of all-cause mortality. It proves you have hip mobility, core strength, and leg power. But we don't start on the floor. We start with the chair. The squat is not just an exercise. It is the mechanical pattern of independence. It is getting off the toilet. It is getting out of a car. It is rising from the dinner table. When you lose the squat, you need a caregiver. The squat recruits the largest muscles in the body, the glutes and quadriceps, simultaneously. It floods the body with myokines, anti-inflammatory proteins that fight systemic aging. Think of the squat as a systemic flush. Every repetition pumps blood and nutrients through the stagnant reservoirs of your lower body, forcing fresh fluid into the hip joints and knees. Squats will hurt my knees. Experts at the Mayo Clinic clarify that squats protect knees by strengthening the muscles that support the joint capsule. Bad squats hurt knees. Correct squats heal them. The fix: the assisted counterweight squat. The setup: stand in front of a chair. Hold a light weight, like a book or water bottle, out in front of you with straight arms. This acts as a counterweight to keep you upright. The movement: push your hips back like you are closing a car door with your butt. Lower yourself until you barely touch the chair, then drive back up through your heels. Do not sit and relax. Touch and go. The goal: build up to 10 continuous reps. I know what you might be thinking. I'm too old for this. My joints are too stiff. I've missed the boat. I hear that fear. It feels like your body is betraying you, piece by piece. But I want you to understand something fundamental about biology. You are not a machine that simply wears out. You are a biological system designed to adapt. You are not a statistic. You are the CEO of your own biology. Every time you perform that chair pop, every time you practice the flamingo stand, you are sending a loud, undeniable signal to your DNA. We are still in the game. We are still hunting. We are still moving. Your body wants to heal. It just needs the right demand. Let's recap your new Prime Health protocol. Load your walk with rucking. Move sideways with lateral steps. Strengthen your grip with the farmer's carry. Calibrate your balance with the flamingo stand. Open your posture with the wall angel. Train for speed with the chair pop. Master the squat. Which of these changes will you make first? Are you going to grab those grocery bags for a farmer's walk, or are you trying the wall angel? Let me know in the comments below. Stay strong, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.